Hello everyone, welcome back to The Addicted Bookworm, where my addiction's all over the internet. On this channel I do book hauls, book reviews, both digital and physical, audiobooks, and so much more. Alright, so I have completed the first chapter of The Gunslinger by Stephen King. And some people say this is a fantasy book, which is probably why I'm doing it on here. Also, I'm doing it on here because I have 187 subscribers. So somebody will respond to it. So, The Gunslinger, which is the first book in the Dark Towers series. I've watched the movie, but I have never ever read the book. So I got this from the library. I also borrowed a digital copy from the library. However, I can only read it on the Libby app. I can't read it on Kindle, which I'm fine with. So the Gunslinger tells. The first chapter of The Gunslinger is divided up into 20 subchapters. So this is how Stephen King gets away with having like lots and lots and lots of chapters, and you don't even notice it at all. So in this video, video and the other videos that come after it, I will be reading for The Gunslinger. I am going to be reading a certain number of subchapters a day. So the next one is probably going to be maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So this is not something I'm doing every day. I'm not like, oh, I finished chapter 2 or I finished chapter 3. No, I'm actually taking this book pretty slowly because a lot of people absolutely love the Dark Tower series. I personally, this is my first time reading the book. Not the first time. I've already watched the movie. People say the movie sucked. I found the movie enjoyable, but yeah. So the first chapter of The Gunslinger, which is divided up in 20 subchapters, basically talks about this guy he's known as the Gunslinger. And he is hunting down the Man in Black. And this thing about the Man in Black is that he is a figure that we really don't know anything about. I don't know if the movies explained what he was, but in the book we don't know anything about the Gunslinger, about the Man in Black. We also don't know anything about the Gunslinger. We kind of get some hints about his past, like talking about his father. His father gifted him the guns that he uses. And he's kind of in this weird kind of place. So far, he's like in this little town that kind of reminds me of the Wild West. And I think this is one of the huge reasons that when I saw The Gunslinger on the library bookshelf, and yes, it's a library book, which I will say this, if you are going sorry. If you're going to get The Gunslinger, see if it's at your local library. Please. But anyways, so as time progresses on in this first like 20 subchapters of chapter 1, we get kind of this feeling of that either the Gunslinger is revered by some people and he's hated by others. He's definitely hated by, I get the impression he's definitely hated by a lot of people. I'm sorry guys, my dang freaking throat refuses to clear up. Oh man. But it's kind of a, like I said, it's kind of an odd story. Now, as I said, people believe this is a fantasy story, and I'm going to kind of say that I kind of agree with it, but I kind of see it also as like a Western type of thing. I might be wrong, but he's constantly, as I said, he's constantly hunting the Man in Black, and we have like no idea like who this Man in Black is, and everything. So I am very, very excited about continuing to read this book. This book has me gripped, like, really badly. I actually had to charge up my Lenovo because I had spent a little bit of time playing that 3D screw thing and everything. But it took me like, sorry, it took me like 4 days to finish chapter 1 of this book. And it's like, it wasn't that I didn't have time to read chapter 1 all the way through. It's just that some of the subchapters are kind of long, and some of the subchapters are like kind of short or very short. So, anyways, next next week, I should say this coming week, I get paid, and I'm actually picking up the Gunslinger on Amazon. I just don't want to wait like a week to get my Gunslinger. I want to own it. I want to have it in my collection. So anyways, yeah. So that is for that book. As for that book, I may go ahead and, since I am enjoying this book a lot, I am going to add book 2 of The Dark Tower to it, and we'll see what happens. Okay, I will see you guys next time. Bye.